Rocky Johnson, Sweet Ebony Diamond.
Okay, I first met Rocky Johnson in 1975, 76. Okay, he met his wife, Atta, not his last wife, Rock's mum, in San Francisco. Peter's there working in San Francisco on top and in that territory. And he came in and they put him in a tag team. That's where I think I mentioned yesterday, they groomed him. Ray Stevens and Pat Patterson groomed him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he came in there and then he came down to New Zealand. Peter's down in New Zealand doing a big show. And that against Harley Race for the World Championship. Peter had a home. Peter's the Rock's grandfather had a home in New Zealand. And he's there doing a big show and that. And Rocky's down there now working full time. He came down here for 6 months or maybe a year. And he's working for the New Zealand promoter, Steve Rickard, and the Rock is 7, like a matchstick with a big afro. And that Butch and me come home to work against Rick Mantell and Rocky Johnson and that big show. It was in a speedway track. And that first time they ever had wrestling there in Auckland, New Zealand, Western Spring Stadium, and there I remember that, and that drew the biggest crowd at that time there. And we worked against Rocky Johnson and Rick Mantell. I met him there. That was 75, 76, because we just finished working for Stu, 76, right? And then the next minute, in 80, I finished for Elton Owens, and Elton Owens sent us to NWA out of Charlotte. As I mentioned to you before, the old man, Jimmy Crockett's dad, Senior, and Elton, Don Owens, and Vince McMahon, Senior, they were all good friends with Stu Hart. And so we're down there, and Ebony Diamond was down there. You know, Rocky Johnson working as a Sweet. What was he working at?
He did that in Mid-Atlantic, Sweet Ebony Diamond. He was under a mask there.
Yeah. So there we started working with him. And I think the belts were put on us the second week there, and that in that territory, the Mid-Atlantic belts, the pacifier belts, the world champions were Ray Stevens and Jimmy Snuka. We had the pacifiers, and we dropped the fucking pacifiers, I think it was to George Wells and Ebony Diamond. So I worked a program there with him there. And then I ran across him a lot of times. I had a restaurant in the 90s by the Buccaneer Stadium, and him and Atta used to come in there to eat. You know what I mean? And when The Rock started, Dwayne started for WWF, we were leaving. You know what I mean? Stone Cold come in about 6 months earlier. He wasn't Stone Cold then. He was, Stonehead had another couple of names. Anyhow, when Rocky come in, I see when Dwayne came in, I saw Rocky a few times then and now. So I'd known him since 75 and been around him. Now, I hooked him up in the end. Jimmy Hart and me are working for this promoter out of New York who does all the baseball players. And Rocky was around, and he said, who else can I bring in with you? And of course, I thought, well, here's a name that all the New Yorkers remember, because Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas were the first black ever tag team for Vince Sr., Vince Jr. So I said, Rocky Johnson. So Rocky started traveling every month. We'd do a show, a card signing for fucking this guy out of New York. And so this week, it's the third time we're doing it. I called Rocky on the Thursday. I said, as his wife got the tickets and everything, and he said yes. And he said, I'll see you at the airport. Dwayne's put a horse farm for him just away, 15 minutes, 20 minutes from Tampa Airport, right? And And I'm at the airport Saturday morning, no Rocky. No Rocky. Oh, the month before, he arrives at the airport with a walking stick. Jimmy and me are waiting there. He arrives with a walking stick. We ask him what happened. He says, my horse kicked me in the leg. It must have been a hell of a kick because he was limping and he had a walking stick. Why would you carry around a walking stick if it weren't hurt? And we told him straight away, especially Jimmy said, go to the hospital and get checked. It was a big swollen up. The kick had gone through the muscle. So the muscle was all bruised and that. That's why he had the limp. And we kept telling him, go to the hospital that whole weekend. So 3 weeks later, we go again. I talked to him on Thursday, as I said. Saturday, he doesn't arrive at the airport. And I said, COVID's around, so I don't fucking take much notice there. I call him Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever. I call up, and his wife of today said he just passed away. And then I found out that he never went and got checked. That blood clot went to his heart and took him out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He never went and got that
never
checked.
It.
No, and I think I told you about the funeral yesterday. That the big church funeral with about 80 people there.
Mm-hmm.
Did I tell you about the funeral yesterday, didn't I?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With Pat Patterson and Vince McMahon.
Yeah. And Pat Patterson was telling weird jokes.
And they got gay jokes and all that. And then Jim come up, and then Vince wasn't even supposed to go up and talk. And he went up and talked and says the best thing about Rocky Johnson was him marrying Atta.
And giving us the rock.
But then all the Samoans had made money for Vince. Yokozuna, Arthur and Sika, now the Usos. And then now you got 3 different girls. You know what I mean? And the guy that when Vince did the hair match against Trump, the big Samoan there.
Umaga.
He was from Arthur and Sika's sister, their mother. He was from that, like Rikishi from that. All that, I know his family. That's why that's all Vince said. The best thing about Rocky was he married Arthur and he left the stage.